What I'm about to share changed my life for the better 13 years ago when I first learned this solution myself. Now, I'm not talking about something crazy. I'm talking about writing an annual vision for the coming year, and that is the solution to making your resolutions, goals, and dreams come true. 1, you want to make it a prediction of your future. 2, you want to write it in the past tense as if it's already done. 3, it should be very clear and detailed. 4, you want to make it believable. Don't include far-fetched things that aren't likely to happen for anyone, like going to Mars, unless you're an astronaut in the Mars program.
What is up, Impact Heroes? Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Rick Ornelas. Thank you for spending some time with us today because we know time's a valuable resource and we're going to make it worth your while. I appreciate each and every one of you, not just for listening, but for who you are. I know you're sparking change to make the world a better place every day, and I am humbled and grateful for your efforts. It takes all of us doing our part to spread positive change, and that's what this show is all about. Motivating you with stories of struggle, courage, and hope to empower you to make a difference in your life and the lives of others.
In case you missed it,
when you have extraordinary habits, you're going to live an extraordinary life. And it doesn't matter what happens to you.
available everywhere you listen to your podcasts.
Welcome back, Impact Heroes, to the latest edition of I Spark Change Through. Now, our goal with these episodes is featuring all the different ways that us and others spark change to make our world a better place through social impact and positive change. We have found over the past few years that there are endless ways to positively impact each other's day. Now, the response to this segment has been extremely positive. We've had episodes on sparking change through fitness, adventure, mind, body, spirit, volunteering, mental health, awareness, writing, interns, cultural exchange, networking, time, self-care, and most recently, gratitude. So on that note, I have a question for you. How do you spark change? One of the ways we spark change at I Spark Change is through creating an annual vision. So raise your hand if you've ever spoken or written a New Year's resolution. Now keep it raised if you've never followed through on that or any of the dozens of resolutions you've had over the years. Now, if your hand is raised, that's pretty funny considering you're there sitting in your car or, listening to this somewhere, and I'm not there with you. But even if it's not, I'm guessing that you've had a resolution that didn't go much farther than the words that came out of your mouth. Now, don't worry, you're not alone. Statistically speaking, researchers suggest that only 9% of Americans who make resolutions actually complete them. It also shows that 23% of people quit their resolutions by the end of the year's first week, and 43% quit by the end of January. Said another way, you're not alone if you raised your hand, because there are 91% of Americans right there with you. Now, I find that sad. And the great Les Brown once said that the wealthiest place on earth is the cemetery, because that's where you will find all the unrealized dreams and goals that were given up way too soon. And if this sounds familiar, I have a solution for you that will change your life for the better. I know that sounds like a bold statement, but what I'm about to share changed my life for the better 13 years ago when I first learned this solution myself. Now, I'm not talking about something crazy. I'm talking about writing an annual vision for the coming year, and that is the solution to making your resolutions, goals, and dreams come true. Now, this is not a vision board, and I'm not against those because they have their place in visualizing things. I'm talking about a descriptive story of the future that you will create in the coming year. It's literally a prediction of what will happen in the next 12 months that is written in the past tense as if it had already happened. Now, I equate it with the Christmas letter that many of us used to receive from an aunt or a grandmother, someone who liked to write letters back when they were more popular. And these letters describe everything that happened during the year for the family. It was filled with stories and events that had transpired. When you read it, everything would come to life, giving you a visualization of what the words described. Now, this is the same power that you want to harness for your annual vision. You want it to be a description of an incredible future that is very accurate and powerful, and it will translate into a reality, because what you let your mind conceive, it can achieve. So here are some tips from my process that will help you get started. Now, I've been undergoing this activity since 2011 when it was taught to me, and I've refined it over the years and improved it to make it more salient. So every December, I think about everything I want to accomplish or happen in the coming year. I make notes of everything by jotting them down or adding them to the notes on my phone. I add something new to the list if something pops in my head, and I continue on, but I don't worry about the order or it being super clear. I only worry that it's something that's essential for my future. Now, once this brainstorming process is complete, that's when I write my annual vision. I date the vision December 31st of the coming year because it summarizes everything that will happen, okay? That hasn't happened yet, but will happen. I list my wins and highlights from the year, just a bulleted list of everything big from the year. I follow that with the main things I was grateful for during the year. And I open up the central part of the letter with a general paragraph about how amazing the year was and how proud I am to accomplish everything that I set my heart out to achieve. And then I break it up into sections that are important to me. Now, these include family, relationships, spirituality, health, fitness, career, business, finances, travel, fun, positivity, goals, I believe statements, my to-do list for every day, my badass list, my ultimate bucket list. I mean, things like that. And, this is a list that I've added to over the years and one that works for me. Now, I didn't always have all of these components, and some may not be crucial for you, but the most important thing is that you develop important categories for you and your future. Each section includes a paragraph or two describing the events relating to that area. Now, for example, the travel section contains detailed descriptions of the trips we will take, or took, as it's written in the past tense, remember? And the point is to paint a clear picture for your mind to visualize and then go out and create it. So here are 8 additional tips to remember when writing yours. 1, you want to make it a prediction of your future. 2, you want to write it in the past tense as if it's already done. 3, it should be very clear and detailed. 4, you want to make it believable. Don't include far-fetched things that aren't likely to happen for anyone, like going to Mars, unless you're an astronaut in the Mars program. And it should be consistent with your values, or your mind's going to reject it. And you want to speak in your face language so you're conscious of it happening. Like if a drill sergeant was there in your face. You want to make it bold and push you. And when you read about it, read it or think about it, it's going to make you smile and inspire you. The key is to do what works for you and to make it your own. And there may be additional sections that fit your life and goals. So include them and envision as you envision your future and your dreams. So here's some final pro tips to help make this a reality for you. Schedule time on your calendar to write it out. If it's not on your calendar, my experience is it's not going to get done. Date it December 31st, 2024, because you're going to write everything that you're going to predict for next year and then make it happen. And to make a goal a reality, it needs to have 3 components: concise, positive words, clear visualization, and the corresponding feelings associated with those things happening. So make these a part of your writing. Make it very accessible so you can refer to it at any time. Mine's on my phone, it's on my laptop, it's super accessible. And then you want to read it at least once a week for the year. And that's going to help to remind you of what needs to be done in order to accomplish those goals. And there you have it. That's everything you need to predict your future and turn it into a reality. You'll be amazed at how accurate you can become when you make this a part of your annual goal setting. And so if you'd like more tips on accomplishing any goals that you have, then tune into the iSpark Change podcast, where I'll share additional details. Now, you can also book a one-on-one complimentary call, so that will be in the show notes. And you can book that call with me, and I will help you accomplish those goals. So pretty simple, right? Easy, but not simple, but not always easy. So take the time, set it on your calendar, and go out there and start doing it. All right. I want to thank you for joining me on today's short episode. I am grateful for each and every one of you in the Impact Hero community. I hope what I shared resonated with you in some way and it sparked something inside of you. Remember, you have the ability to spark change every day. I'd love to learn more about the ways that you spark change. So please share those with me on social media. I promise I will personally respond. Thank you for listening today, and we'll see you all next time on the iSpark Change podcast.
Do you want Rick to speak at your event? Here's what others have to say.
Did not know his story, and it was so inspirational, and his presence on stage, his authenticity was just incredible.
Performance made me feel some type of way. My name is Craig Siegel.
If you're looking for a speaker for your next event, hire Rick. I promise you this, you will not be disappointed.
Visit rickcornelis.com to book him today.
Remember, Impact Heroes, every positive action can be a spark moment that has a ripple effect that spreads far beyond the initial act. So go out there and spark change. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this episode, then please smash that 5-star rating on iTunes or Spotify and leave a review. We value your comments and we want to hear from you in the community. Thank you for listening. God bless you, and we'll see you next week on the iSpark Change podcast.